Good afternoon and welcome to the 2020 commencement ceremony for the College of the Arts of Montclair State University. My name is Dr. Heather J. Buchanan and it is my honour to be your Master of Ceremonies today. For your safety, we ask that you please wear face coverings at all times, stay 6 feet away from those not in your group, and follow instructions from our event staff. Please remain in your places until the conclusion of our brief ceremony, and when the ceremony is over, our event staff will release you by sections in order to ensure social distancing. So please follow their instructions. We want you to enjoy this experience, so we also ask you to please take this moment to silence all electronic devices. And now, will you please welcome the class of 2020 graduates from the College of the Arts. Graduates, please rise as the academic processional will now begin. Ladies and gentlemen, we present the President of Montclair State University, the Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs, the Dean of the College of the Arts, and distinguished faculty and staff.
Welcome, everyone. Please be seated. I'm Daniel Gurskus, Dean of the College of the Arts, and it is my great pleasure to welcome to the podium the President of Montclair State University, Dr. Susan A. Cole.
Thank you, Dean Gurskus, and welcome. Warm welcome, very warm welcome to our graduates, our guests, and faculty and staff to the 2020 undergraduate commencement exercise for the College of the Arts at Montclair State University. Please rise for the national anthem. The anthem will be sung by Megan Hogerhide, who will be receiving her Bachelor of Music degree today.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets wrecked and the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Megan. Please be seated. Graduates, it's wonderful to see you in person, right there in front of me. We promised that we would celebrate your achievements as soon as the governor said it was safe enough to gather in person, and here we are. These past several months have been a difficult time for you and for us. We have marveled at your tenacity and resilience in the face of adversity, and we are proud of all that you have accomplished in the time at Montclair State, including this last semester, which certainly posed very special challenges for students in the arts. As we gather for this most unusual commencement ceremony, we are buoyed by the bountiful energy and potential of the graduates whose achievements will be marked by the conferral of their degrees. As events of the last few months have shown, you are entering a world that has many important economic, social, environmental, governmental, and public health issues in urgent need of attention. And today, you join the next class of citizens prepared by your education to make a meaningful contribution to the hard work it takes to build a peaceful, prosperous, equitable, and just society. The education you have acquired has been in part to enable you to become the person you want to be in this world, but also its purpose has been to enable you to become the kind of citizen that our nation and the world needs. The role of public universities such as Montclair State is critical to sustaining a free and democratic society. For to be a responsible and contributing citizen in a democracy takes preparation and it takes education. You have had the privilege of that education, and many people have worked hard to make that privilege possible for you, including your faculty and advisors at the university, your family and friends who are so proud of you, and many people who you will never know, your fellow citizens whose taxes help support your education, and many, many generous alumni and donors who shared what they had to support scholarships and to make educational resources available to the university for you. And now it's up to you, and you must let nothing stand between you and your future. This is a time of fear. We are living in a time of fear, and yet we must have courage. You must have courage and never give up on yourself. At this moment, I want us to pause and remember together some of your fellow students whose lives were cut short and who will never have the chance to stand where you stand today. Let us take a moment to remember Jose Fernandez, Pierre Puente de la Vega, Karen Gwaltney, Juliana Lee Kessler, Griffin Klaus, Christian Niles, Michaela Powell, and Jeremy Thompson. And it's also important, I believe, for us to acknowledge and send our collective best wishes to 16 of your fellow students who were called away from their studies and their families this year to serve on the front lines in the National Guard's COVID-19 response, serving at hospitals, nursing homes, testing centers, and helping to build field hospitals. They are Derek Alicorn, Edith Argueta, Melissa Castelli, Marcos de Leon, Mercedes Flores, Daniel Herrera, Alex Gennaro, Christopher Langell, Lucien Lloyd, Nolan Muganda, Alicia Pierre, Nicholas Ritter, Anthony Steiner, James Suarez, Diego Tanaka, and Victoria Vieja. We thank those fellow Red Hawks for their service to the nation. Class of 2020, you have been called the class of COVID. But as I have said before, you are not the virus. You are the cure. You are the cure. Now more than ever, graduates, this world needs bright, committed, well-prepared people who can take on the immense challenges we are facing. And I do not doubt, and you should never doubt, that the arts have an incredibly important role to play in society. I have watched you with pride this year, and I have seen that you have not been brought down by this crisis. On the contrary, you have been strengthened by it. You have become more creative in the face of it, and you have been toughened by it, and you are readier than ever to go out and make your way in this world and fulfill your hopes and your dreams. At this time, I want to take a moment to acknowledge the fact that there are many staff in the university who have volunteered today as ushers and greeters and coordinators who plan to make sure that everything we did today would be safe, and we could not have done it without them. Montclair State University faculty, staff, wherever you are, give a wave. They're wearing red shirts, our student helpers, everyone. Thank you for what you have done. And now I'd like to turn the ceremony over to the Dean of the College of the Arts, Dan Gurskus.
Thank you, Dr. Cole. So pleased to see you all here today and to have the chance to spend time with you. Joining me up on stage today are some of my esteemed colleagues from the CART leadership team. Professor Anthony Masaki, Director of the John J. Calley School of Music. Professor Randy Muggleson, Chair of the Department of Theater and Dance. From the Calley School of Music, faculty members Dr. Lori McCann and Dr. Brian Powell. And of course, our reader, faculty member, Dr. Heather Buchanan. In my mind, I'm imagining a group of rock climbers, say 3 or 4. They're ambitious, ascending the treacherous, implacable face of a vast mountain known to punish climbers and at times even take lives. As I picture them, they are well past the start of their climb. Yet because this is the first time that they're making this particular ascent, they can't say precisely where in the journey they are. Looking below, they see the inviting place where they started, slowly receding from view. Looking up, they see nothing but rock. Most of the time, they see only rock 6 inches in front of their noses. They are confident of what awaits them ahead. After all, they're experienced. They've reached summits before, and they've thrilled to the vistas there. Right now, though, their view is solid stone. They don't know how long it will take to reach the end of their climb or what new challenges will stand in the way. Still, they never stop climbing. They have no other choice except to continue moving upward. At this moment, we are, all of us, like that group of climbers. Caught in a hyper-uncertain world, we hold out hope for where we are headed without really knowing where in our journey we are. Uncertainty is, of course, a fundamental part of human existence, which is ironic because as a species, humans pretty much hate uncertainty. What makes humans human is our capacity to reflect on the unknown and the unpredictable. So while human consciousness is an awesome thing, it has its downside. We worry about the future. Balancing that is our power to process all at once a broad range of complicated and demanding ideas and emotions, profound empathy for the loss and suffering that so many have recently endured, uneasy concern for our well-being and those close to us, righteous anger because, yes, Black Lives Matter. All that along with the imperative to keep moving our individual lives forward. And so it is not just fitting that we take the time to acknowledge your achievements and celebrate your successes in this forum today. In our age of uncertainty, it is essential. Graduates, your final semester here at Montclair State has been, you fill in the blank. I'm reasonably confident that your response is not, this semester turned out exactly the way I thought it would when I arrived on campus in September. Whatever your experience, whatever the challenges, whatever the ups and downs, it will ultimately shape your life and forge your identity, and I predict, for the better. I grew up at a time and a place where I was surrounded by people who had lived through both the Great Depression and World War II. Many of them were also immigrants who arrived in this country with nothing. I often heard stories of loss and losing, deprivation and distress, sacrifice and sorrow. Hard times can harden people. Yet by the time I knew these folks, my family, I saw only resilient, thriving individuals emboldened by their past, not defeated by it. They'd made a choice. They had been on the mountain, and they never stopped climbing. Now it's your turn. When you reach the summit on this climb that we're all now making, and you will, pause to appreciate how far you've come and how much you've accomplished. And then take a long look around, because nearby there will be another mountain waiting for you, a new part of your world to conquer. Never stop climbing.
Thank you, Dean Gerskes. And now we will turn to Provost Willard Gingrich, who will begin the process of the conferment of degrees.
President Cole, it is my privilege to report to you that the candidates here assembled who have successfully completed the curricula offered by the College of the Arts at Montclair State University have been so certified by the university registrar, and they are recommended by the faculty to be awarded bachelor's degrees in recognition of their academic accomplishments. I would also note that a number of these candidates have also completed their certifications to teach. You will notice that some of our students have gold tassels on their mortarboards, signifying that they are graduating cum laude with honors, magna cum laude with high honors, and summa cum laude with the highest honors. Will those undergraduates who are graduating with honors and the families of those undergraduates please rise? Your family, friends, and fellow students join me in applauding your success. Thank you. You may be seated.
President Cole, it now gives me great pleasure to introduce the members of the May 2020 graduating class. Will the candidates for the bachelor's degree please come forward to receive your individual acknowledgement? While you wait to cross the stage, please keep at least 6 feet of distance between you and those around you, And when you arrive on stage, slide your name card through the slot in the plexiglass barrier to our reader. For health and safety reasons, we cannot shake hands this year, but rest assured we applaud your achievements.
Presenting candidates from the John J. Kelly School of Music. Michael Peter Procthauser. Dominic Joseph Croce. Mariana Gomez. Teresa Ann Torriello. Kirsten Nicole Gorsak. Jocelyn M. Mattingly. Karen Hope Heredia. Jack Rangeley Wagner. Megan Lynn Hogerheid. Jacob Ira Sinsky. Federico Perez Trasante. Ethan Francis Dunn. Diamond S. Anderson. Robert N. Hansen. Madeline Elizabeth Meyer. Vanessa Morin. Alison Lilia Latini. Amanda Morrow. Kaylin Cecilia Mauro. Presenting students from the Department of Theatre and Dance. William Raphael Collins. Tyler Drew Haynes. Kayla Marie Chang. Catherine Marie Miller. Taylor Lee Berra. Marie Magdalene DeGreen. Taylor Marie Aragon. Holden Grundmeyer. Micaiah Catherine Mott. Ashley Lynn Waldron. Selena Guadalupe Revola. Jasmine Elise Smith. Avi Elizabeth Brescia. Raven Marilyn Smith. Lily Summer Salt. Jane Teresa Badwini. Mary Catherine Stanton. Carissa Quinn. Kaylin Irene Joan Del Caso Sakositz. Remy Marie Presky. Alyssa Ann Cassini. Logan Melissa Hurley. Christina Marie Caulfield. Sabrina Inawazo. Marian Savannah Christine Palmer. Crystal Kupakoti Bass. Sharonay Smith. Mukai Antoine Brown. Imani Khani. Michaela Teresa Shade Alexander. Amber Teresa Evelyn. Amanda Lee Kowalski. Jenna Eberhardt. Jaquan Ratik Savage. Gianna Maxine Diaz. Olivia Virginia Passarelli. Tony Nicole Blockberger. Tashay Danielle Udo.
Will the candidates for the bachelor's degree please stand? Will the families of the bachelor's candidates please rise with your graduates? President Cole, I am pleased to present the candidates who have qualified for the degrees Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Music, and Bachelor of Fine Arts.
All right then, are we ready for those degrees? Yes? Okay. By virtue of the authority vested in me by the State of New Jersey and the Board of Trustees of Montclair State University, and in recognition of your achievement in fulfilling the curricula prescribed, I confer upon you as earned the designated bachelor's degree with all the rights, duties, privileges, and immunities thereunto appertaining, of which the diploma is the written witness. Congratulations, graduates. I will ask Provost Gingrich to join us in the undergraduate tassel ceremony. When the provost signals with the mace, you will move your tassel from the right side to the left side of your mortarboard. Ready? There they are, the graduates of the class of 2020. Congratulations. Please be seated. This concludes the Montclair State University commencement exercises for the College of the Arts. I would ask everyone to please remain seated until the recessional is complete. Graduates, when it is time for you to recess, please stay, remember, 6 feet apart, and follow all the staff instructions as you exit Sprague Field, and keep those face coverings on. To our guests, thank you so much for joining us today and for being part of this brief but yet meaningful ceremony. Would you please, for your own safety, wait for our event staff to release you by sections. To everybody, stay safe, stay well, have courage, and enjoy this meaningful moment. Congratulations, and thank you. Thank you.